where heads of state, sports, entertainment, and political celebrities meet. You're listening to Armstrong Williams.
Obviously, our social media listeners, followers, the audience wants to know who is this magnificent individual we're interviewing today. Who is Bola Kuforiji Olubi? Tell us about your life, business, government, serving, and help people. I know you're a very modest and very humble person, but help people understand your walk to success and how you've become the person you are today and the many positions that you've held.
Well, I always say that my antecedents have conditioned me and prepared me for the rich career that God has put my way. I started life as a trained, certificated teacher several times ago in the early 50s. And while I was teaching, I was progressing, with my studies to do my A-levels, and get myself prepared to go to England to study. Then I went to England, and I went to Regent Street Polytechnic, then got my A-levels and was ready, to do my degree. Like the compare of this program has said, I got a BSc Economics degree from the London University. Then I proceeded, to school myself to say, just going back to Nigeria with a simple degree is not going to make you stand out above your peers. You must get some other qualifications. So I decided to take articles and become a chartered accountant, the equivalent here of the CPA. But in between waiting for articles, I also decided that I was going to keep my brain alive. So I decided, to go to the Institute of Chartered Secretaries to do some examinations. Because of my degree, I was exempted from a number of the sections of the examination. So I just took the final examination, and that took me only 1 year to do. Then my articles was for 3 years. I qualified as a chartered accountant in 1967, and then I became the first Nigerian female graduate chartered accountant of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. I returned back to Nigeria to go and work for an international conglomerate called the Inchcape & Co. And Inchcape & Co. had offices all over the world, and they had about 124 offices, and I was the only female chief executive of the company in the group. Then I became also a managing director of the company when the expatriate Englishman who I was working with retired from Nigeria, and I became the first female Nigerian woman to be managing director of an international company. Gradually, I became the group chairman of BWAC Group, which, we have now completely put aside because of other economic reasons in the country. I also run my own several businesses in property development and management. I've been involved in marine services for oil and gas. I've been involved in manning for marine vessels, that come into Nigeria for oil and gas. That is my private business enterprise. But the highlights of my public life started in 1976 when I was appointed as the only female chairman of the Osun River Basin Development Authority, which is akin to your Tennessee
Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA.
Tennessee Valley Authority. And I was instrumental in ensuring that there was a dam that called the Onyo Dam that was built. It was supposed to provide proteins through fishing for the populace in that area, and also hydroelectric power if it's properly harnessed. Part of the infrastructural complaints that I made earlier, can zero in on this Onyo Dam, because up till today, I was chairman and I left that authority in 1980. There's facility to harness the dam for electricity, but up till now, nothing has been done. There have been successive people who have been chairman, maybe not their fault, because there are no resources, to further that. Then in 1984, I was so pleasantly surprised when I was appointed by the federal government to oversee their share in the United Bank for Africa, which was an affiliate of Banque Nationale de Paris and Banque de Siena de Lavoro in Italy, and Montepaschi, and also another bank in the U.S. I became the first female chairman of any bank south of the Sahara. And in 1986, I think, that bank was voted by the Fortune magazine as one of the top 500 banks in the world. After that, I became Secretary for Commerce and Tourism in the interim national government until that government was taken over by a military despot. And then we had successive governments. I became also the deputy chairman of the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation Commission, which distributes the resources of the country, to the 36 states of Nigeria, including the Federal Capital Territory.
Talk about your oh, no, please go ahead.
In addition to that, I'm involved in a lot of church activities, philanthropy. I have my own foundation called the Ayora Trust Fund Foundation, where I affect the lives of the disabled, the clergy, and conflict resolution. It's a multi-faceted foundation.
Talk about your stint as the Commerce and Tourism Secretary. What did you learn about what government can actually do versus what people think government should do?
Well, every government has its own agenda. And I believe that the agenda of that interim government was to try and keep Nigeria one, because an election had been annulled that year. And that gave a lot of worries to the populace. The winner of that election was incarcerated, and people were trying to find a way of keeping Nigeria together. So I believe that what we did in that government, first and foremost, was to ensure that there was no disintegration of Nigeria. Secondly, for me, I took my private sector orientation into government. And I was working in my office, believe it or not, until maybe 2 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes not eating, sometimes sending people to go and get me fast food for myself and for the people in my office. And when I look back, I said to myself, you must have been crazy to do that. Because I knew people who were in that government with me, who probably, if they don't work for the next 20 years, they still have what they made from that government. But I thank God, I came out of that government with a good name, with my life. I wasn't killed. There were lots of threats. In fact, somebody nearly kidnapped one of my children who was at the law school at the time. But thanks be to God, I was told by someone high up in government that, we know what was happening. We thought, if they kidnap the son of the only female. I was the only female in that government. You know, we will gain sympathy of the people. And I asked that person, don't you have children of your own? Why didn't you let them kidnap or arrange for them to kidnap your own child? Why my own child? But God was with me, and He's always with me. I had a premonition. I was feeling restless in my office, and I started.
You know, when we come back, we're going to be joined by Dr. Kuforiji's son, Takumba. And we're going to engage. You're going to hear very little from me because they're going to engage in a conversation, helping us understand Nigeria, the perceptions, the hope, the aspirations, why it's so special for them. You know, people think of Nigeria as con artists and they fleece people, but they don't get to hear the good because the good doesn't sell. Nobody wants to read about the good. But you know what? We're also changing the perception of what people see as the good. And these are good people making a difference, empowering lives. And good people are everywhere. And so when we come back, Dr. Kuforiji is going to introduce her son, and we're going to learn more about Nigeria and this wonderful Kuforiji family. Don't go away.
Attention, a very wealthy international benefactor now reveals money-making secrets used by the rich and powerful. Now you can learn how to make more money than you ever dreamed possible. Ancient secrets that have been used by members of secret societies for centuries are now being revealed. Now this money-making secret is being made available to the public. Receive the CD, Money Making Secrets Revealed, absolutely free. Learn how you can make money, achieve your dreams, eliminate debt, and develop super wealth. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and is available only for a limited time. Call and get Money Making Secrets Revealed absolutely free.
Dial 1-800-839-4522. That's 1-800-839-4522. 1-800-839-4522. Remember, 1-800-839-4522. That's 1-800-839-4522.